Welcome to Game 2 between Frost and Scout. Bottom right-hand corner, we have Frost as the pink Terran. Upper left-hand corner, we have Scout as the red Zerg. I feel a little bit thrown off by Game 1, I will admit, all the way around. Mostly because when you see early Hydralisks like that, it's typically... No disrespect to these players, but it felt like it was one of those matches you'd see more in early rounds of Chobo League rather than the round of 16 of Hasuleague for comparative. Mostly my feeling around it is that oftentimes when you see that early Hydralisk play, it's like a full-on Hydralisk Zergling speed bust, or it's like rapid 2-hatch Lurker, or something along those lines. And we didn't see that from Scout. Also, when you see that and you get sufficient Medic Marines out, Medic Marines trade very well with just raw Hydralisk, with lack of micro. And you can just kind of engage and disengage, heal up, engage, disengage, heal up, and whatnot, just kind of push them back into their base. And more or less, if you have sufficient medic, basically Zerg has to overwhelm you and then also micro on top of it to really make that work. And so oftentimes if it does not work, then you're just locked into your own bases. The Terran can just save scans and maybe even get a siege tank, because the siege tank, you don't even need siege tech. It ranges unsieged against lurkers as long as you have detection and whatnot. And maybe even get siege tech, because then you can go for a push. Maybe that's what Frost was thinking to the follow-up. But it felt like Frost... I don't know, maybe it was a lack of macro. Seemed like he was playing passively inside of his base. He moved out with a Medic Marine force and kind of split the force up, did a lot of other... I don't know. It was just an odd game all the way around. It was entertaining, though. I'm going to give it that to these two guys. But if either of these guys come across it and have thoughts as far as what was going on in that game, I would like to hear it. Because I am, I don't know, I feel generally confuzzled. 12th hatch, this is Shikura's Plateau. It is a larger macro-oriented map. A barracks actually being planted alongside this refinery, which honestly I'm wondering if this suggests no gas yet. And I feel like this is somewhat risky for Terrans, particularly going up against Zerg players. We do see, however, Frost going for a cross-map Scout. A little bit rare. And actually, Scout doing it as well. So going to be able to... So both players getting the early Scout. So this is going to... So Frost's going to see the 12th hatchery and going to go ahead and scoot in and get a good look at the spawning pool as it is coming. And also see the extractor coming online. And comparatively, Frost is going to get, this is interesting, Scout right there with that drone. The drone going to back off with the Marine, but delaying that command center at least a fraction of a second. But this is, wow, racks into CC, a pseudo, not exactly, that's about as close as you get to a 14 CC against Zerg, I guess, which was very, very risky. I like that play, though, from Frost, because he knows this is Shikura's Plateau. He knows it's more of a macro-oriented map. So basically figuring, okay, since it's more of a macro-style map, looks like one drone not getting in gas initially is going to slow things down just slightly, just a hair. And this is the first two Zerglings being produced. And it looks like actually Scout going to go for a very rapid 3-hatchery, going to go ahead and take that 11 o'clock base instantly upon seeing that additional command center, which I think is a good play. Second barracks being plopped down here for Frost. Still no gas. But I feel like that was a great play from Frost, knowing that Zerg tend to go 12th hatch on this map because it is one of those more macro-based maps. And perhaps feeling that, okay, as a result of that, also I'll be able to keep that SCV Scout. I don't know. Point being, I like that play. I think it was a good risk. Good risk to take. 5 drones to the natural expansion. Zerglings still trying to chase down that SCV. We do see a handful of Marines. So basically, Scout not applying any pressure currently. Interesting. I wonder what the theory behind this play, maybe just have that Marine block it. Always wonder the building placements in certain players and what their decisions are making. But Frost's economy already off to a great start. Really accelerating right off the bat. Refinery is up. See if he plops some, is going to get the additional Marines in it. Finally, that SCV taken out near that natural expansion. Now the question is it's really up to Scout to do something here. He does have that layer coming online. Is he going to opt for Mutalisks? Because the thing is you go Mutalisks at this stage. He's also grabbing Zergling speed across this. You go Mutalisk, and it looks like he is in fact going to opt for Spire Tech here at that natural expansion, hoping it's not going to get scouted. You go for Mutalisks, and knowing that your opponent got a little bit of an economic lead, oftentimes it ends up, you can end up, I don't know, not having as much effect. We'll see if the engineering base there in time. Frost not grabbing. He does have that economy. He should be able to scan this. Double extractor. So that's going to be a sizable dedication to Mutalisks. Pretty typical build here. Third hatchery is up, but silent at this stage of things. Kind of the theory, and we'll see how Scout plays it, kind of the theory behind this build these days is for Zerg to use the Mutalisks to keep the Medic Marine Force back and try to push up the Hive Tech and get something in the Hive Tech arena. Engineering Bay is going to be online. It's going to be there well in time to get turrets in place. A second Scout in for Frost. Frost not even needing to expend any scans here. Still working on getting stim. One thing with Mutalisks on this map is there's a lot of territory to cover for Terran, which is one of the reasons I like it as a tech. Early weapons 1. Still just pumping out of 2 barracks currently. But you can see there's kind of this natural... Actually, Zergling might even get a kill right there. Diving in there, the Marine's going to peel forward and go ahead and deal with it. Escort it out. But you can see there's kind of this wide open main that can be attacked from multiple angles. You've got just a really big, just a lot of territory. And so a lot of turrets need to be placed. Third barracks being planted. Carapace being upgraded on the Mutalisk, which suggests we're going to see more of a general Mutalisk dedication. Only 4 Mutalisks being produced initially. Going to require a 5th Mutalisk to really be a threat. That's kind of the golden number. You can see already 3 turrets being placed across that natural expansion, which is kind of the typical entry point. No turrets, sorry, we do see 1 turret near the main, double turret near the main, so really respecting that Mutalisk threat. And the initial 4 Mutalisks starting to move out towards that natural expansion, they are not going to get anything accomplished. Another round of 4 being produced, but Scout is able to grab that 3rd gas. So it looks like Scout, at least the way he's playing it thus far, producing the full 8, is he really wants to go for an aggressive attack. Those Mutalisks getting caught, so the Zerglings seeing Frost pulling out those Marines. The Marines trying to chase down those Mutalisks and actually doing a significant amount of damage. Bring it down to half health of 1. Let's see if that rally point is off. A Fire Bat also there for Frost, just in case there was a larger Zergling dive. And it looks like, actually, the way, and I think he correctly read this, the way Scout is playing this, it did look like for a moment that he was thinking about going for a general Mutalisk Zergling dive, wipe out the forces, and just jump on this Medic Marine Force. Special thanks to Ash Dreamer, Hasuleague runner-up, the rate of 7. I'm actually wondering if he actually went into Hasuleague to follow this up. Zerglings diving in, actually catching the Medic Marines while they were spread out, and as a result, the Mutalisks actually going to be able to and actually the Zerglings are still going to last right here. Well, I think 1 Mutalisk survived, but that was a great engagement for Scout, catching all of Medics. The Medics didn't even get away out of that attack force, so now Frost is backed up, very much locked into his base. That looks like Scout going to go ahead and take, honestly, he could probably take 2 bases off of that. A big Mutalisk grouping starting to move out towards the natural expansion. Some decent micro we're seeing here. That turret's been taken out, and there's not a lot of Marines to defend here. And honestly, these Marines could easily get picked off given the amount of Mutalisks we have in the air. That's 10 Mutalisks, which is plenty to kill all of these Marines, particularly when they don't have medic support. Scout, if he continues pouring on the Mutalisk pressure, might be able to win this game right here. And Frost just has to watch it happen. Some very nice micro. I don't know what the lag is like here, but some very nice micro over the natural expansion. I like seeing that, especially in these sort of conditions. It looks like, yeah, continue to press this on. Actually, 2 starports attempting to be built by Frost to try to sneak back in this match. One of the SCVs being taken out, so that's going to delay science vessels as well. Zergling starting to flood in. That barracks is up. The SCV's doing a great job of blockading that ramp, but Zerglings are on top of the barracks. It looks like they're going to start working on those turrets underneath, so those Mutalisks can come on top of these barracks. That should be GG if they are able to do so. 1 Mutalisk being taken out, another Mutalisk being taken out, but there's still Zerglings fighting SCVs on the low ground. That is 6 Mutalisks. I'm waiting for reinforcing Mutalisks from Scout to just finish this off. Regardless, he's still in a fantastic position. SCV's just getting obliterated. Worker count lead for Scout, which is not... Yeah, there's GG. There's GG. Well played overall by Scout. Really capitalizing and just abusing... Really that big fight in the middle where he just caught all of those units out of position. It was wonderful. And that plus the Zerglings able to wipe that out. So Frost, yeah, just not... that's the thing with Terran. That's the thing about Terran versus Zerg at large. I heard Artosa say this is... Or maybe it was Tasteless. They were like, it's such a fragile matchup, both directions. And I have to agree with it. And we see just, yeah, that fragility on display in this match. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We move on to Game 3 between Frost and Scout.